It is with much sadness that I announce the long illness and unfortunate death of Mrs. Dot Benson. Mrs. Benson was Mayor of Barnet during the municipal year 1989 to 1990. Mind in Barnet was her chosen charity. She was Conservative Group Ward Councillor for Hell Ward from 1978 until 1990. She joined the council in 1978 after spending 4 years as a co-opted member of the Education Committee. And she took a particular interest in the welfare and education of children and young people in our borough. This is reflected by the fact that she was appointed Vice Chairman of the Education Committee and Chairman of the Schools and Special Services Subcommittee. She was Vice Chairman of the Governors of Orange Hill and Copthall Secondary Schools and Chairman of a group of primary schools in Burnshope and also in Grant Park. Mrs. Benson served with the Women's Royal Naval Service during the Second World War, and for much of this time was stationed on a large naval base at Milford Haven. She also played the piano in a service band. Mrs. Benson leaves behind her husband Ron, children Nick and John, and 4 grandsons. I'd now like to call upon the leader of the council, who I believe wants to say a few words.
Mr. Mayor, may I defer to my colleague Councillor Hart, please?
Councillor Hart.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. It's an honour, and you got quite well, so that's why I've been asked to speak on her behalf. You've said most of the things that we wish to know. I can emphasise the fact that she was of working class origin from the East End of London. She left school at 14, as indeed I did, so we both of us regarded education very highly, not having had a great deal of it, which is perhaps a hint at the fact that she was always interested in education and very good at it. It's her leading interest in the council, I'm sure, I know that. And she was against comprehensivisation, so was I. But we lost that one. If she were alive now, she would welcome the measures being proposed by Mr. Gold, I'm certain. And I'm sure many others do. They common sense. May I point one item where personal interest, and so had she. Moatmount Comprehensive at the top of Worcester Crescent was one of the failing schools at the moment. It wasn't the only one in the borough. It wasn't because it was a bad school, it was because of the great dip in the birth rate at the time and just before, obviously. It was a failing school. What to do? Oh, well, we can build houses on the site. I said, you can't do that. It's a marvellous site. Open green space, edge of the green belt, Moatmount, woods just beyond, new buildings. It needs a merger. What do you suggest? She said. Well, I'm afraid I did suggest, and one or two may remember this, that perhaps Orange Hill School, which was extremely successful academically, but only had a tarmac yard, as far as I know, to go and play games in, and was a big brick football barrack.
Good school.
It was, I'm saying, it was a good school, yes, and some people here were students of it. It's not the building, actually, that makes the academic side, I can state myself. But nonetheless, it was suggested that perhaps a merger might be something that would be a good idea. Yeah, when she wanted to do something, she did it. She was a very determined person. You just, one route, pointed at the right way, much better. So, she moved it, and we thought, I wonder if the parents, because at the time one was looking for parents to apply and send their children to schools, not like now looking for a place in school. It's simply one of those phenomena of birth rates. I said, well, I'm pretty certain that people would be attracted, that initially parents living anywhere around there would be dedicated, but she wasn't really afraid of people, so she took it on. And I said, we need a good name for the school. She would agree to that, so I thought, perhaps we could get a royal name. Oh, right. Oh, right to the palace. So I did. The palace, of course, I'm afraid, constrained by the usual things. The monarchy can't be constrained. I do know this from my civil service background as well. And so they referred, oh, you have to go to the Home Office. So I wrote to the Home Office, and I got a very curt, unpleasant letter back from a rather curt bloke called Britain, who was at that time Secretary of State, Minister of the Home Office, saying it was not customary to name schools after members of the royal family. So I must send over it. I said, why not? I knew that wouldn't work. Why not? But I'm afraid it didn't go, so we had to think of this glorious name of Millville County High. I think there was another word in it. Now, it gives you a hint as to how long the school has existed, because Prince Harry, who we wanted to call it Prince Harry's House, was born just then. He was a baby in arms, as naked as he's been since his birth. Anyway, we pushed to that, so we didn't get that one, and it was a pity, but she took on the chairmanship of the school and steered it, in fact, to become one of the most successful schools in the borough. You see the kids tramping to school. They pass my door, they're not far away with their red and black striped blazers. It was one of the first schools to decide to have blazers, but they weren't very popular. The idea was we don't do anything like that. We don't even wear ties. Some of us in council meetings do it. Yeah. I went to the funeral. I went to the funeral. I represented, I think, the Henley Reserve Association, and I have here the funeral document, and you can see her blue eyes. She could stop you at 20 paces with a blue-eyed glare. She's a great friend of Mrs. Thatcher, who could stop you at 20 paces. So, but she's a very determined person, no nonsense at all. One day, Mr. Mayor, when she sat where you were as the mayor, she had said to me before, "Oh, I'd love to be addressed in Spanish." I didn't need 2 hints, did I? So it was, Señor Excelentísimo Alcalde de este eximio ayuntamiento. And I went with the best golden age Spanish I could speak much completely out of context with what happens in Spain nowadays. She now did. Well, I was worried. If I may say so, Mr. I'll end by saying, if I may, and I do it in Spanish, que descanse su alma con Dios. May God rest her soul. Thank you very much.